Hi, my name is Jo and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to share with you the 10 succulents you have to have in your collection. They are my absolute favourites and I think are a staple for any collector. So yeah, keep watching to find out which ones I recommend. So I think I'm going to have to start with probably my favourite succulent of all time. I fell in love with succulents probably mainly from this one. This is Aeria Lola. And I absolutely love the leaf formation on this plant. It's just so beautiful. It's kind of closed up in the middle, and then as it grows it just becomes this beautiful, even, just such a lovely structured rosette. I absolutely love it. It's quite good at growing little offsets as well. I've got one indoors in an arrangement, and that's given me quite a few little pups. And it grows quite nice and tall, so it can be a hanging succulent if you want it in a hanging basket kind of arrangement. But yeah, it's just beautiful, and I find it's quite hardy. I've never had any issues with it. These leaves under here are a little bit dry, so they need to come off. But yeah, it's just a staple in my collection. It's one of the first ones I ever got, and I absolutely love it. Number 2 on my must-haves is a Graptopelum, and it's called Lovely Rose. And I am a little bit obsessed with it because it literally does grow like a rose, and look at it, it's just beautiful. So obviously I love flowers, I love receiving flowers, the gesture is brilliant, you know, I love it. However, flowers don't last long, especially roses, so why not get an echeveria, which I have had 4 years, and you can multiply like this. I have got so many. Yeah, and it just lives on forever. So why spend 10-20 pounds on a bunch of flowers when you can get one of these and multiply it and enjoy it year after year? It's just the most beautiful little rose. And as you can see, I have quite a few. I've got some in here and on the stem as well. If I move this out of the way, I can actually show you. So the stem, there's some on there as well. So I do find they grow very tall very quickly. It's not that they're reaching for sunlight. If they were reaching, they'd be quite gappy. This one is a little bit gappy, actually, saying that, but that one's not. So they just grow very quickly, and that means that they probably need to be head chopped every year if you don't like them to be too tall. I find that mine get, you can see the stem on this one, that's a year's growth. So the stem for me was too tall, it looked a bit odd, so I've just chopped it, and I've got all these babies, and I've already taken some babies off actually. So yeah, it's just an amazing plant to propagate as well. You can, like I say, chop the head off and it grows lots of babies on the stem, so it's one that just you can multiply quite quickly in your collection, without feeling guilty for chopping the head, because you're doing it for a good reason. If you don't like tall succulents, obviously if you do, brilliant, and you can have it so it kind of hangs over, I suppose. But yeah, why not multiply and have lots of them? So this is a Lovely Rose. Next on my list is a very hardy echeveria, and that's why I probably am suggesting it, for that reason and because of the colour change it has throughout the seasons. So this is Echeveria elegans or elegans, and these are two quite different looking ones, but they've been kept in the same conditions. Just, yeah, one's kind of got flatter leaves. That usually means that they are trying to get a little bit more light, so they flatten the leaves to try and absorb that, whereas if the leaves point upwards, they're getting quite a lot of light and they don't need as much. So that's just a little tip for your collection. However, these have been sitting in the same kind of shelf position, so it just might be that the sun is maybe coming through behind, I don't know, something in the greenhouse which might be blocking this one more than this one. It's quite interesting. But they make beautiful arrangements and they offset really easily. I'll just show you now my arrangement I have outside. So I think this kind of explains, you know, talks for itself about why I love it so much. Look at it, it's just so, oh, sorry about all the cobwebs. It's just so pretty, and look at all these babies. I probably had about 6 in here originally. This is 3 years old, But I have taken quite a lot out. Obviously these ones have come from that arrangement. And it's crazy how it's now autumn in the UK. It's September, or the end of September, and temperatures are dropping a little bit. We had a week of probably about 4 degrees in the mornings, and I think we had one frost. And yeah, and it's already started the winter colours coming. So this can be like a really vibrant pink midwinter. I do leave this out a lot longer than I would any of my other ones. I'll probably leave this out for another couple of months. It doesn't mind too much rain because it's got quite thin leaves. It doesn't mind the cold. It's probably one of the hardiest ones. I would say it probably can survive freezing temperatures. I just don't like to risk it throughout the full winter. And yeah, I just love it. It's just so easy. It just looks after itself and speaks for itself, really. Look at these ones. So yeah, Echeveria elegans is a must-have and probably one of the easiest ones to look after. If you are an overwaterer, get one of these. And number 4 on my list is Echeveria canti, and look at it. It is the most beautiful pastel with that pink kind of lining around the tips. It's just gorgeous. I am very lucky. I don't know if that's the word, or maybe I've just got a talent, but I grew these from seed. Is it 2 years ago now? Not this one, but another batch. And I had a success rate of 90 out of 100 seeds. So I was just inundated with them and absolutely love them. So it was really good time for me to experiment with kind of what conditions they like. Yeah, and just find out quite a lot about them because I had so many. I didn't mind if maybe I overwatered some. So yeah, I found that they're very, very thirsty plants. They've got very thin leaves. They love water. They love sunlight. As the leaves are quite thin, they don't like a lot of direct sunlight because that can burn them quite easily. And yeah, they're just kind of an easy succulent to grow because they just love water and they soon tell you when they need some. So these leaves here, I did water it last week, so they're actually not squishy. So if you squish leaves sideways on the plant, if there's any give, that'll start to tell you when it's thirsty. I would say it's quite good at shedding old leaves. Yeah, oh, I just love it. So yeah, it's quite easy to tell when it needs water because the leaves become soft quite quickly. So I would say this one, for me at the minute, will probably need watering every 2 weeks, whereas my other ones probably every month, every 2 months, and soon nothing at all. So yeah, Echeveria canti. I would say in the winter it probably does need watering at some point, even though I don't water any of my succulents. I just find that this one, if I leave it until the growing season starts again, all these outside leaves will have absorbed all the energy and they'll all be kind of like this. I can't think what the word is. Depleted. They'll all be depleted like this one. And it makes the plant a lot smaller, so then it has to grow over the season again. So I think I'm probably going to give this one a drink maybe once or twice throughout the winter, and yeah, hopefully it'll continue to look as beautiful as it does now. They grow very quickly as well. So this one is probably a year old, maybe a little bit less, and that was grown from seed. I'm going to do a video soon actually on how to grow them from seed because I had such a good success rate. I'm hoping I'll have that again, and can then share some tips with you. So the next one that I fully recommend getting is this superbum. It's a Graptopelum, or it was, I think it's now changed the scientific name, but I have no idea how to pronounce it. I think it's maybe Spanish origin, and yeah, I'm not going to butcher the name. It was a Graptopelum superbum or superbum. I call it a superbum because I think it's cheeky and I love it. But yeah, it's beautiful. It's got such a lovely pastel kind of lilac to it. It grows quite quickly. It's not fussy. It loves water. It soon tells you if it's thirsty. Like this one, the leaves are getting a bit squidgy and it was only watered maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so it's just such an easy plant, and it also propagates from leaf really well. And I love it when you can just multiply your collection quickly. So that is a staple in my opinion, which leads me on to its beautiful relation. Same plant, but the variegated form. Oh my god, I love this. I just think you cannot have a more beautiful variegated plant than this one. Yeah, it's just, look at it, stunning. So them together are like the perfect little family. Love them. So yeah, that is definitely one that I have to have in my collection. I do have multiples of it, and I head chop it probably every year just to make sure I've got backups, because I love it that much. If I lost that, I would be devastated. So yes, this is Graptopelum, superbum or superbum. This one is Lolensis, and the reason I'm probably including this one is, one, because of its beautiful colourings. It's green with that lovely pink tips and the pink around the outside of the leaves. It's quite a thin leaf plant, so I find it likes quite a lot of water, which is great for someone who likes to overwater things. And look at the bloom as well. I'm not sure why it's blooming at the end of the season, but it's obviously happy. Yeah, it's just such a beautiful plant. I'm not even sure what the parentage is. I think it's unknown, but oh my god, I love it. It's just so pretty. The leaf structure is just amazing. I've got one outside actually, which looks a little bit different, so I'll try and insert a picture here as well. But yeah, Lolensis, love it, beautiful plant. Next on the list is a Lilacina, another echeveria. They are probably my favourite of the species of succulents. But yeah, Lilacina, it's kind of a very pastel-y white plant. It's not fussy, it likes water, it tells you when it wants water. I wish they did actually talk and tell you properly. But yeah, I've got quite a few of these in my collection because I love them. But yeah, this one's darker, this one's very white, really nice white form, and it can go quite pinky. It's just yeah, such a beautiful plant. I would say this one's got a lot of farina, which is the coating on the leaves which protects them from the sun. If you push your finger down onto the plant, usually you'll then take off some of the farina. So yeah, I always just try and push them sideways, see if they're thirsty. This one's very thirsty, but I was getting nervous this time of year when it's the end of the growing season. I don't want to water them too much. I'd rather kind of treat them a little bit meaner, because it was quite happy. These ones are quite firm. So yeah, Lilacina, another must for your collection. This one's nickname is Ghost Plant. The correct name, please do not judge me for my pronunciation on these, is Graptopelum paragonese, if that's how you say it. It is such an easy one to look after. It's just, yeah, not fussy at all. It requires nice sunlight and quite a lot of water. I've got a huge arrangement outside, and I literally just had one of these, and yeah, I've now got, I don't know, 50. It's insane. They prop very easy from leaf. If you want to try and propagate a succulent from leaf, I would recommend starting with something like this ghost plant. It's just so easy. It just wants to live on, it wants to multiply, and it's, yeah, really beautiful. I've got one outside at the minute, which is in very shallow soil with quite a lot of grit. It's getting quite a lot of sunlight, and the colour of it has changed a lot. I've seen these go quite yellow, quite pink. At the minute, these ones are quite a greeny, kind of pastel light colour. But yeah, they change quite a lot throughout the season as well. But I just think they're just very easy and grow very quickly. You can then head chop these ones when they get quite leggy, or you can keep them like this and have them in hanging arrangements. There's just so many options for them, and they're just so pretty. So this is Ghost. This one I couldn't decide on which one to show you. I just think a succulent which has got an unusual form, you just need one of these at least in your collection. So this one is Raindrop, and as you can see, it's got little droplets on every leaf, hence the name. These are called caruncles, and I've got so many different caruncle plants. I used to really dislike them, but now I'm just obsessed. So like this one, someone said this looks like some kind of diseased tongue. But I love it. I just think it's so pretty. It's just, it looks like something you'd find under the sea. It's just so unusual, and the colouring of it is lovely. It goes from greens to pinks to purples. So yeah, some kind of carunculed plant I just think is a must in your collection. This is quite a new one in my collection, so it's kind of got very unusual colours while it's settling in and rooting. and this one as well. Just think they are just beautiful and just really different. I just think you need something unusual in your collection to stand out and yeah, just to admire and see how they grow. It's just really interesting to watch these caruncles. They don't always stay. This one, you'll probably lose some of this throughout the winter when it's not getting quite as much light. Yeah, so it's just, oh, this one's got multiple on that leaf. I love it. It's so pretty. So yeah, I would get something caruncly and unusual in your collection as well. Last but not least is this variegated rainbow. It's just so beautiful. Look at the colorings of it. This one's really thirsty at the minute. I haven't watered it for a while. It's due to be treated soon with my bug clear treatment. So yeah, it's very thirsty, but you can just see the colors. It's so beautiful. It's given me quite a few babes as well this year. So yeah, it's such a beautiful plant. I believe its non-variegated form is also something I'd probably recommend. It's my first ever succulent actually, is the Pearl von Nuremberg. So I believe this is the non-variegated form of it, which then has created this absolute beauty. So yeah, if you can get either this one or this one in your collection, absolutely do. Again, this loves water and loves sunlight, so it's quite easy as long as you're giving it enough light. I do find that if you keep it in, you're in your house somewhere and it's not getting a lot of light, it will look quite sad and it can be a bit fussy. So as long as it's getting, what it needs, it's quite easy to care for. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that's given you an insight into some really interesting succulents and some absolute beauties. I love these. I upload videos every Thursday, so if you are interested, look back at any past videos and please subscribe to look at any new ones. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.